So here we are with Patrick Cranley. You think you know the city, but trust me, you have no idea.
We got to Shanghai in 1997, and we started a little group, Historic Shanghai, a lane neighborhood. And I think that's where the soul of Shanghai resided. Of course, there are not that many lane neighborhoods left. People acquiring an apartment in a building and then tearing everything out of that space.
But I'm gonna renovate the way I think probably is nice. But
Don't
actually,
do that.
Yeah.
I mean, would you go into Versailles and say, you know what, take out this paneling, you know that mural over there, off with it, paint it white. You wouldn't do that.
烦死了。
That you're absolutely right. But I understand that's an extreme view. It says protected. 保护建筑, the Bank of China building on the bund.
I own a real estate in Shanghai.
One of the most beautiful Art Deco apartment houses. That's what it is in Shanghainese too. Modern.
Modern, I like modern.
Yeah.
Modern.
Humans, I think, respond to architecture. If architecture didn't matter, we would all live in white boxes, which actually some designers would like us to do. What was the largest expatriate population in the French concession in 1930? Never has the foreign population exceeded 0.5%.
Do you tell better stories with a glass of wine in hand?
Well, of course you do. Yeah, Shanghai, which can be translated as Shanghai by night. It doesn't matter if the cat is black or white. If it catches mice, it's a good cat. Peace is good for everybody. It's not destructive, it's constructive. And that brings us back to architecture.
You see, still connected. So here we are with Patrick Cranley, one of the people who doesn't only know Shanghai, who understands Shanghai. A lot of streets, alleys we accidentally pass by. I think you know it all. So thanks so much for accepting the invitation. It really means a lot.
Thank you for the invitation.
My friends, expats, or people, netizens living in Shanghai, if you ask them about 10 unique routes walking around Shanghai guideline, I think they'll have quite a hard time, including myself. But somehow you were able to pin down 130 different routes of exploring Shanghai. So I'm wondering what is behind this curiosity? What caused this curiosity?
My academic background is China studies. So I studied mostly modern China's economics and politics. Okay. And I studied business as well. So it made sense for me to come to China to work. One of the first things that my wife, Tina, and I discovered about each other is that we both love history and travel and architecture. Mm. And wherever we've lived in historic buildings. And we got to Shanghai in 1997. And we looked around and we saw all these interesting buildings and we asked people about them and we did not get very good answers. Mm-hmm. You know, the stories have been lost. And we wanted to rediscover the stories behind these buildings, you know, the people, the places, the stories. And so we got together with some other expatriates who were interested in the same questions. And we started a little group. Historic Shanghai. And because we've been here for quite some time and because we're so interested in all these stories, we've had to explore all corners of the city. And it's a big city.
It is. So every expat actually living in Shanghai, we all automatically here and there became unofficial tour guides to all our friends and family visiting downtown. We all try our best. We take them to all those touristic destinations. Waitan, the band, Yuan Garden, Lujiazui. But personally for me, I think it's always very important to take them to see my Shanghai, to make them see how I see the city, how I feel it, certain locations. And I believe all of us see the city differently. As a professional in this field, when you take people to see Shanghai, you take them to see the Shanghai or the way you see it?
Well, you have to do both, right? People have to tick the box, and yes, they have to go to the bund. They have to go to the former French concession. But not everyone goes and seeks out a lane neighborhood. And I think that's where the soul of Shanghai resided. Of course, there are not that many lane neighborhoods left. But life in the lanes formed generations of Shanghainese. So that's part of their DNA. So I think it's important to take visitors, even if they're here for a short amount of time, to see one of the remaining Lane neighborhoods so that they can feel it and touch it and understand something about how Shanghainese character has developed. To be fair, the city has designated thousands of buildings for protection now.
Yeah, it's a lot of times you pass by, it says architectural heritage. It's like a sign that they don't really tear down.
Well, you have to be very careful about which sign you're looking at.
Okay.
The gray signs that say heritage architecture,
Yes.
that's just information.
Oh, I never knew.
Yeah. But the yellow signs have the magic word on them that says protected. 保护建筑.
Oh, 这样子的. Oh, I didn't know. Because every time I even see the white one, I was like, oh, that's protected.
Well,
oh, it's different.
We are very much in favor of those signs because it raises awareness.
Exactly.
That these are somehow important buildings. There are different levels of protection, and you will see on those yellow signs either nationally protected, provincially, municipally, or district.
Okay.
So they all have slightly different rules. So many of the buildings down on the Bund, you look at their protected sign and it will say 全国
National.
Yeah. So it's different. And every jurisdiction has different rules. Most of the protections in China and everywhere in the world apply only to exteriors. The way the rooms are in a building are originally designed is part of the identity of that building. So one thing that we really don't like to see is people acquiring an apartment in a building and then tearing everything out of that space. Because then
they need to renovate.
Yeah. And it's not renovating, it is redesigning. So many of these old buildings, you walk into an apartment and you cannot distinguish it from an apartment anywhere else.
Yeah.
White boxes. Whereas in the originals, they have, maybe wood and parquet flooring or ornamental plaster or original ironwork or hardware for the doors and all this sort of thing. And that, if for a purist preservationist, those are also part of the building that should be preserved. But I understand that's an extreme view.
No, but it's another view that even I personally didn't think about it, because you usually think about exterior of the building. You will think like inside I'm going to renovate the way I think probably is nice. But
Don't do that.
Yeah.
It also depends on the quality of the building in the first place, right? If there's no interesting interior details, then fine. If you want to take down a wall, fine. But if it's
most of them are
historic room, I mean, would you go into Versailles and say, you know what, take out this paneling, that mural over there, off with it, paint it white.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't do that.
So people, whoever own apartments in the historic buildings, please don't tear it down.
Please.
One thing that fascinates me about this city is like every corner is a hidden gem. I mean, you more than anybody else knows it. I remember once I was walking past by Maoming Nanlu, and then when I saw the sign saying Astrid Apartments, I was like, no way. And I went closer and closer. I was like, Astrid's apartment. Back to the question of making personalized tours, I always take my friends there saying, you see, I own a real estate in Shanghai.
One of the most beautiful Art Deco apartment houses.
Very beautiful. So I feel really connected to that building. Doesn't matter. I don't own anything there, but it's just the idea of it makes me really happy.
Sure.
Do you have any connection with any of the building in Shanghai that you feel specifically attached to?
Well, I'm emotionally attached to all buildings.
Oh, yeah?
Either positively or negatively. Humans, I think, respond to architecture. If architecture didn't matter, we would all live in white boxes, which actually some designers would like us to do.
Yeah.
But architecture does matter. Your surroundings, the color, the texture, the light, the space, it all makes humans react in some way or other. I would point out what we call Chinese Art Deco. So that's modernist buildings that are inspired by, have traditional Chinese architectural or art elements.
Mm-hmm.
So examples that people might recognize, the Bank of China building on the Bund,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's a modern building. It's a steel frame skyscraper, but it has a Chinese roof. It has latticework windows. It has two mythical beasts
In front.
outside,
Yeah, that's true.
guarding your money.
That's true.
And that mix of East and West is quintessentially Shanghainese, right? So I love that style. By the way, the term Art Deco wasn't invented until the 1960s, when architectural historians started to look back at this period of design. There were many different terms used for that style, which didn't have a name yet. The most common one was just the modern style. And that's what it is in Shanghainese too. Modern.
Modern. I like modern.
Yeah.
Modern. Oh, that's in Shanghainese?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I think nowadays, when you look at Shanghai, you feel it's so full of foreign presence. Sometimes we think about it that now is very international, but when you look back.
Right. I remind people that in 1930, they took a census. They counted the people in Shanghai. And they found there were almost 3 million people living here. Now, that's big, but not as big as it is today.
Wow.
Yeah, but 3 million in 1930 meant that Shanghai was the 5th largest city in the world. So it's been one of the biggest cities in the world for more than 100 years. But also remember that never has the foreign population exceeded 0.5%.
Yeah.
People hear the term French concession and they think, oh, it's just French people living out there. Not at all. There were more in 1930, more Americans, more British living there than French. And there were only 1,200 Frenchmen.
Oh, wow.
But you know, probably, because you've been here for a while, what was the largest expatriate population in the French concession in 1930?
Wow, that's a good question.
A lot of them lived at the Astrid.
My apartments? Oh, British people.
Russians. The so-called white Russians, to distinguish them from the Reds.
French
About
concession.
15,000
Wow,
Russians here.
interesting.
Yeah.
I know that you also run Shanghai Wine Society. So I'm wondering, what is the connection between wine and storytelling? Do you tell better stories with the glass of wine in hand?
Well, of course you do. There is a kind of a parallel there. A bottle of wine has a million stories attached to it, right? From the time the grapes are planted and tended in the vineyard, there's a story there. And then it has to be made into wine. There's a story there. The people, of course, who have the dedication and the passion to take care of plants for years before you can even do anything with them. And then highly labor intensive, and goes back into history too, the history of the land. And then each of the bottles, the liquid inside, has a story to tell as well. And every vintage, that is every year, it's a little bit different. So
I see where you're going,
right?
The comparison. Yeah, I never thought about it. That's true. It's pretty similar.
Yeah, it is. And it makes the sip of the wine more interesting. And you could even say it's more important than the wine itself. It's the story of how it got into that bottle and to you.
So if you could gift one idea or mindset from China to the world, what would that be?
Well, I mean, I studied at first Chinese philosophy, and I think there's lots of interesting ideas in Chinese philosophy that are gifts, contributions to the world. But, philosophy is very theoretical, so let me choose something that's more practical.
Yeah, we like practical stuff.
Okay. So I'm sure you've heard of a guy named Deng Xiaoping, right? So one of the great leaders of modern China. And he was a brilliant guy in a lot of ways. And of course, he changed the course of China in many aspects, but by looking at economics first, right? And he's famous for a quotation. Maybe you've heard it before, but maybe a lot of your listeners haven't. It's even sometimes referred to as the cat theory. Do you know about the cat theory? The quote is easy and very easy to remember. It doesn't matter if the cat is black or white. If it catches mice, it's a good cat. And that changed everything for China.
I know you speak Chinese, obviously. Everybody knows already. Do you have a favorite phrase or a word you use a lot?
Well, again, to be practical, right? I think 不好意思 is probably the most practical one you can learn. Pardon me.
Pardon me. Yeah.
I really like the phrase 莫名其妙.
啊，对呀。
Can't explain it.
Yeah.
Right?
Actually, how you translate 莫名其妙 in English? You can't explain it. Yeah.
Well, the dictionary translation is baffling. But if you translate character by character, which a lot of bad translators do, right?
Yeah.
It would be, there is no name for it, but it's wonderful.
It's true. Yeah. I also actually struggle a lot of times, like some things, especially when you're living in a Chinese environment, a lot of things come out automatically in Chinese. And when you try to express the same in English, it's just, you just cannot find the word. Something like 烦死了. Like, this thing, it's like, it just comes automatically in Chinese and there is no way you can express it in English.
They've been at it for a long time, right? I mean, it's a very old language. So they got a word for everything.
Everything. That's true.
Just can't remember them all.
If your journey in China or generally life were summarized in one song, is there any song you can think of?
My relationship with Shanghai. I suppose I should choose Shanghai, which can be translated as Shanghai by night. And the words are very nice. It's kind of like the song about New York, the city that never sleeps. A Gershwin symphonic poem called An American in Paris. Have you ever heard of it? And I have a story that goes with that. Took a music class when I was in high school. And the music teacher, he put on a song or a piece that none of us had heard before. And he said, listen to this and tell me what it's about. He said, does anybody, what did you think? And I said, I think it's about a guy who's in a place he'd never visited before. And he said, you're absolutely right. So to me, that means that music also can tell a story.
Yes. Yeah. And how you were able to detect that from
I have no idea.
Music.
No idea.
And somehow that song became your personal summary of your journey here.
Sure. And plus, it was written in 1928, right in the middle of the Art Deco period.
缘分. back to 缘分.
绝对.
哇，绝对缘分. If someone young, by saying young, I mean from 0 to 100 years old, is watching this, struggling with something, figuring out their life, what's something you want them to remember?
Well, everybody will tell young people, just be yourself and do what you love, right? But a lot of young people, they don't know who they are yet. They don't have the experience to know the range of things and what they'll love the best. So I guess I would just say, try a lot of different things. Don't forget where you came from. But above all, I would say be kind. Because kindness opens a lot of doors and it makes the world a more positive place. And as long as people are positive and not negative, and there's so many different kinds of negativity, if they're kind, then there'll be peace. And peace is good for everybody. It's not destructive, it's constructive. And that brings us back to architecture.
Yeah. You see, still connected. Thank you, Patrick, so much. It was such a nice conversation. And whoever doesn't follow Historic Shanghai yet, I hope you will follow and you join the tours, because you think you know the city, but trust me, you have no idea. Thank you so much, Patrick.
Thanks
for
Astrid.
joining me. 谢谢. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you. We are at the questions that I ask all my... Somebody is actually cleaning the window. We are on 20th floor. There is the actual guy.
You actually see him?
Yeah, it is like...
there's the rope.
You see? I always think it must be so scary.
Yeah, it takes special people.
Once I read the article, it was about constructor at J Hotel when they were building it, the tallest building. they say like, how does it feel like to work on the tallest building, one of the tallest building in the world? He said like, it just feels like another building as long as you don't look down.
As long as you don't look down.
I'm like, okay, that explains it all. Yeah.